I count so I can be more. Make a difference in this world is what we're here for. I count, give 100%. The money I make, more than I spend. I count, put the numbers to the test. Balance my life, add to success. I count, will I be a star? Forget about the rest, be who you are. I count.
Well, the thing is, having money is having money. One should not worry about how much you spend, as long as there's money.
I count, so I can be more. Make a difference in this world is what we're here for.
I need to send a post-event marketing message to all our supporters. Budget Teas and Learner's Lemonade was a hit at the Boerewors Festival. Thanks to all our supporters. Keep an eye out on our page to see where you can find us next.
This is now the last time I am going to explain the recon to you, Ledger. Please listen.
I'm trying, but all the lingo is confusing me, and it's making me hungry.
Well, you do a reconciliation to see what you spend on costs of sales and what's your profit.
But man, I can see I made money. I have a whole bag full of cash.
Yes, but what did you spend to make this money?
Is this going to take long? I want to go visit this cool holiday spot I read about. It's got a pool and everything.
Well, we are going to sit here until Bud understands.
I hate it when you call me Bud. Fine, I will focus. I have a bag full of money, but that does not mean that all the money is profit. Is that right?
Finally, we're getting somewhere. That is right. You need to deduct your expenses. You spent 250 Rand on marketing. You spent money on rent. Let's see, that was about 100 Rand for the day. You also bought some extra brown bags for packaging.
I also bought myself this rat set of headphones.
No, that is your personal expense. It's got nothing to do with your business. Come on, think what else?
Can I help you out, Bud?
I hate it when you call me Bud.
Sure, it seems that Ledger needs all the help he can get.
Well, my wages count as a business expense for Budget Teas.
Spot on, Prudence. What else?
Oh, I think I'm starting to understand.
Finally.
That is a long list of costs. So, what is left of my bag of money after you have deducted all that?
Let me work it out. First, give me the amount that is in the bag at the moment, your total income.
Woo! 1,500 Rand.
Okay, so it's 1,500 Rand minus 250 for marketing, 50 Rand for brown bags, 100 Rand for rent, 50 Rand wages for Prudence. And how much was the float on your petty cash box?
100 Rand.
Minus 100 Rand for the float. That gives us a profit of 950 Rand.
I'm rich!
If you say so. Can we go swim now?
I count.
Bank reconciliation is the process of matching and comparing entries from your bank statement to the entries from your accounting records.
I count.
I'm so glad that Ledger's finally listening to Lona, guys. Yeah, no, really. How was he even running a business if he didn't even know how to do a recon?
But you're right. I mean, he just assumed that he had money in his money box that he sorted, you know. But I was kind of like that as well. When I first got my pocket money, I'd just like look at it and be like, yo, that's a lot of dough, you know. But then I'd just spend it all and it'll be gone.
Okay, so how's your budget going now?
Well, you know, I'm trying to stick to it. But like, you know, I got a really big shock when I like wrote down my expenses and then deducted my expenses from my income, and I realized I'm kind of overspending. Yeah.
I usually feel like that when I go check the balance of my bank account. It's always less than what I thought it would be. I don't know what happens to my money.
Guys, you know what? I have not only one word, but two words for you. Bank reconciliation.
Isn't that like when your entries are on your bank statement match your expenses as well as your income that is generated throughout the whole month?
You know what? That's right. First, you print out your bank statement, okay? And you look at your opening balance, which could be 500 Rand. And maybe you've got 200 Rand left in your account. So you need to ask yourself what happened to the 300 Rand that you had before that.
Didn't you withdraw the money or something?
Yeah, well, in that case, you need to figure out what happened to the 300 Rand. So, for example, maybe, like Ryan, you use 100 Rand for airtime, 50 Rand at the tuck shop, and so on and so forth.
So you have to have proof to what happened to your money.
See, that's right. You need to be able to account for the money that's left your bank account. You need to ask yourself what happened to the money. So that's like a way for the company to be able to reconcile the money that's in the bank with the numbers that are in the financial records.
But Bud didn't even have a bank statement. He just has his money box.
Yeah, well, Bud had 20 t-shirts, right? He sold 10 of them and he had 10 left. So he should have the money for the 10 t-shirts in his money box, okay? Which is 250 times 10 is 2,500. And that's the gross income that's supposed to be in the box.
But it is not. He had some expenses. Like rent and wages and so on.
That's right. So for the wages or whatever other expenses that he had, he should have slips inside there with the money that's left over. And altogether that money should become the gross income that he got. So if your numbers match up, then you're winning. Your reconciliation is complete. If it's not, then you've got a problem. You're probably failing.
I really need to start keeping my slips, eh?
You sure do.
Let's look at what it means to reconcile your accounts. So, you have 20 t-shirts in stock. You sold 10. So you need to have 10 times 250 Rand. That equals 2,500 Rand in your money box. But now comes the tricky part. You had some expenses, for example, rent, wages, and packaging materials. You need to have proof of what happened to that money in the form of a slip. If you add the slips and the cash left in your money box together, it must match up with the gross income. In this case, the 2,500 Rand you generated in your company. You can do the same with your monthly expenses. Keep all your slips and check it against your bank statement at the end of the month to make sure every cent is accounted for.
I make sure that I pay my bills first and then I know how much money I have left for the rest of the month. Nobody likes nasty surprises, so never get into debt. Rather just plan ahead and spend less.